Morning everybody. 8:05. It's a late one. I finally finished video editing and getting it uploaded by about 1 o'clock last night, so a late bedtime. Up again at 6 something. Back to work, feeling like I never left. We're back on with the golf today. We got sort of one definitely done, 2 started, 3 on the way. So we'll start doing the speakers and stuff, continue doing that today, and then hopefully once that is done, we'll then start taking apart the car, running cables and bits and bobs out to the back of the car. We've got to measure out some wood to hold all the amps and stuff underneath. Breakfast and coffee standard. Do we do bacon this morning or do we do croissant? We shall see. Bummed about this weekend that we can't do Coombe, but my own stupid fault, I completely forgot. We've got a lot of work booked in. Neil and Chris will be down. So Chris wasn't down the other day because his missus is sick. She has had a jab, and 2 has got flu symptoms, feeling poorly. So he's basically being Nurse Chris for a while. One person's driving with their bonnet open. You're gonna get a lovely shock. But he may be down Saturday once his missus is feeling better, no doubt. But today it's get to work time, have a coffee, have some breakfast, have a look at children that are crossing the roads without even looking. Pay attention mate, you're going to get run over. Wait for the cyclist. See you in a bit.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Morning everyone. So this door's back on, that door's back on. Tweeter wire is down this side. We've just got to run the crossover into the radio area. I'm just opening all the boxes and setting up all the stuff on the kicker things. So we've got the 800.1 CXA with its birth certificate of 922 watts. Right, so we've got the 700 watt max, 360 RMS CXA 360.4, and that's come out with an RMS of 405. And I'm just kind of figuring out how we're going to lay this out. Obviously we've got our little bass controller, the 2 key lock power harnesses, and then our amps. So I'm thinking we're going to run the controller wire and some speaker feeds up and down from the radio using a T-harness. So we'll plug and play. That will run into the back. We'll have an RCA lead into this for the fronts. We'll have an RCA lead into that for the rears, and then the output from that will go back into that one. So we've got full range happening at here, and this decides where it's going to go. And then the sound run back down, so we'll have an in and an out on the speaker channels. And I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Run our 2 powers, 2 earths, good to go. I'm just about to start this other door, so we've got to drill out that speaker, get that one out, put some sound treatment on the doors, start again, and then we'll move on to the front. Once that one's done, we'll do the tweeter, and then from the tweeter we'll then start taking apart the interior of the dash, removing these side trims, start running in our cabling, and then pretty much happens quite fast. The only faffing around I'll have to do, making the board for the bottom at the back, running the cables out the bottom, lining all that stuff where I want it to go, putting in the test tracks, doing the setup on the keys, run it into the amps, do a test. Fun times. Come back to you in a bit. What's up, everybody? I've just paused for a little refuel, bit of food. It's lunchtime, so we are cracking on with the Golf. Just starting this door. So we're going to put our sound treatment in, get the rivets out, clean the inside of the door out, put the sound treatment all over it, sort the door card out where we need to go with our cables and stuff, put some sound treatment on that, and then we'll start doing the tweeter on the A-pillar, get this one done, and then we move on to removing the interior, getting it all wired, running the cables front to back, build the support, get that stuff done, test it. Cool. Right then, everyone, so we've got our nice big meaty door panel. We've sound treated inside the door all across the top and back. We've got our speaker spacer in. It's bonded. I don't know whether you can see that. You see the silicone spurging out the sides. So this is actually siliconed on so that we get like a nice weatherproof seal, so the water's not going to run through and start sponging into the car. And then we get our little foam tape. This is then going to be put round, and it is round every single speaker. Obviously it seals the sound. It also stops rattle. So if you've got two faces that aren't necessarily joined in places, there are 4 bolts holding a speaker in, 4 screws, but you've got gaps in between, and what you don't want is that to then start vibration on this, because everything you do to kind of combat that then just becomes a bit of a wasted time. So we're going to put some foam around the edge of this speaker. I'm probably off camera at the minute. Alright, best YouTuber ever. Put some foam around this. This will stop the rattle. We do two runs basically, one on the inner cone, one on the outer cone. Just makes it nice and posh. Right, there's one. Do one on the outer bit as well. I hear something air cooled outside. That sounds quite funky. What's that? Is it an old Porsche? Maybe. If you want to buy this stuff, you get it off of Amazon, fairly cheap. You can get it in like 50-meter rolls, something like that. But it just adds that little bit of extra to your install. Anyone can bang on a speaker, but sometimes these little touches make all the difference. Same as sound deadening. Not everyone bothers with it. You don't necessarily need to, but if you do, you kind of raise your game on your sound. It will just take away that extra bit. You get more sound inside the car by adding sound treatment. So there's our speaker, ready to go in. Right, we need some screws. Let me get 4 of those. Now this one shouldn't be as sketchy as screwing in a subwoofer with a really long drill bit. We get our connection through there. Comes with its own little hole, which is nice. And then we'll get our speaker in there, get it lined up. It's about that one there. That's one. The phone has not stopped yet. I need to get myself a secretary. It's been a bit crazy. There we go. There's our speaker in. Now we're going to do our solder joint onto this one, positive and negative, that connection there. Then we'll sound treat this area round here and the door card, all in the same vicinity. Anywhere that's going to pick up, you know, vibration has the potential to be a rattle. So we'll solder these connections on, and then basically the last one we've got to do then is the tweeter. And then we're kind of stripping the interior out, running cables. And that's like, he laughs and jokes about it. I said home straight, it's not. This is a big job. We've got another day on this yet, but it kind of gets us a bit closer. It means this bit's done. Right, stripe. There's my stripe. There's my neg. Twist them up. There's one. There's another one. Right, let's get the soldering iron. What do we need? Amalgamating tape. PVC. There we go. Then we'll get our amalgamating tape. If you're ever doing soldering, don't just use amalgamating tape, because it has the ability to join into itself, and then eventually through time the two wires will touch each other. You have to put something around them to stop them melting together, like PVC or some other kind of tape. We'll stretch that round, make sure all our connections are covered. There we go. PVC. And just because I can, I like to put a ring of gaffer tape around it as well, because it just, that stuff will not dry out and go soft like the PVC tape does. Push that connector back in there. There we go. Now we can continue with the sound treatment around here, this area. This is all curved. You're not likely to get rattles from a curved section because that adds in the rigidity itself. But we'll certainly do this. And we'll do the door card internally. I've got to pull off the little fins which are in here. Pull off these things again. And then we'll come back to you in a bit.
You offered him 50 grand. He said no.
This fucking dodgy bastard over here, look. Justina. see him on the news soon as he's doing this rally and gets arrested.
I'll be the one at the front with the old bill behind me.
Yeah, so we've just laced up his car with some lovely stickers, some fresh vinyl. It's the worst Abu Dhabi I've ever seen, mate, I tell you.
You dress it up.
No, that's just how he normally looks, you tight bastard. Stop being cruel. I'ma fill you in, sunshine. Evening, everyone. Back at it again. What time is it? 8:10? 8:10. So we've got this thing pretty much wired. So we've got all the cables front to back. Seats out, interior's kind of stripped down, and I'm just playing with ideas in the back. And I think what we're going to do is go with something like that. So I've marked out a board on where things are going to sit, where they're going to go. and at least this way there's somewhere for everything to mount, and also if he needs the spare out, he can still move the spare. So we'll tie in the cables underneath, run them through holes, and I've just sort of marked out the boards of where we're going to have stuff, just so it's nice and neat, kept out of the way. And he's still got a boot, and obviously the 12 is going to sit up here. That'd be cool. Right, let's get cracking. I'll come back to you in a bit. Evening, everyone.
Cheers.
We're just having a cup of cha. So we've got our little amp board ready. Let's just go around here. So we've got the key LOCs, 4-channel, the sub amp, all the RCAs and signal cable, braided lines. You'll notice a heat shrink on the end of the RCA leads to distinguish whereabouts they're going and what signal they're doing. That's all of that. Carpeted bit of board. And that then is going to be wired up to this lot here, which then runs down the front over there. So lots happening. We're not far off. We're cracking on. Just got this thing going in here. All the cables for the head unit and the crossovers, and then we'll get the glove box back in, head unit back in, seat back in, and then we can kind of start tuning. So not far, getting there. Fucking tiring. In a bit. Right, morning everyone. It's literally the morning. What are we at? 12:30. We are kind of getting ready to button things up with this. So Neil's just doing a few more connections on the ins and outs of the crossovers. Obviously I've got this all kind of ready to rock and roll. We're just going to make some power connections in the morning. One thing I have done, I'll just correct you here. Oh, I'm losing the GoPro. So actually on the dash here, here, this knob, you can tell how late it is. You can tell how late it is. We've got the bass controller, so this is the little bass controller for the, which will be for the kicker in the boot, but I've managed to get it nice and neatly in there, so we're not using the big old box. We've just got the innards taken out of it, fitted in the dash with some custom work, and now we've got a nice little bass controller. Sick. Right, he's just making those connections and then we're going to get ready to go home because I'm fucking done. So I'm going to love you and leave you here, everyone. We'll call that a night because I need to go home and cut up a video and then go to sleep for another 4 hours and then come back to work and do it all again tomorrow. But this is going tomorrow, so we've got to get the push on it tonight, get it finished, and then I can have a nice sort of relaxing, fallen over, pass out day tomorrow. Why do we do it? Why do we do it?
You love it.
I do love it. I do love it. Right, see you in the morning, everyone. Bye. Say bye, Neil.
Bye, y'all.
You told me you had subscribed to ASC Audio and now you've missed an episode.